compresses. As the air compresses, it really causes temperatures to warm up quite considerably. Besides that, too, with the sinking motion in the atmosphere, that inhibits clouds from forming. So we had some bright, intense sunshine, and the combination of that compressing air and the sunshine again caused some sweltering heat across the plain states. Well, you folks across the plain states are getting the hot weather right now, but as the work week continues to wear on, that heat will start to slide towards the east, and a big warming trend expected for the Ohio Valley by later on this week. But for today, most of the heat parked across the plain states. Again, temperatures over 100, very common today from South Dakota southward over towards Dallas, Texas. More heat, too, across the southwest. So you folks had really take it slow and easy today. The heat index into the dangerous category, meaning the combination of heat and humidity will make it feel close to 110 degrees. That's going to be very taxing on your body, so please try not to overdo it today because it's going to be very stressful throughout the plain states. Again, we have this big, massive ridge of high pressure in place across the nation's heartland, but we do have that ring of fire with some moisture firing up right around the periphery of that high. And again, we're seeing some thunderstorms developing this morning around North Dakota and some moisture, too, sliding across the northeast. We'll let you know how the rest of your day is going to be progressing. Let's check out the forecast with Bruce.
All righty, let's check it out indeed. We got your good morning forecast coming into focus, and once again, the high pressure is going to be the dominant feature here as it sits here, that dome that Cheryl explained, and we'll see the showers and storms riding up and over the top. The northeast, you got this trough of low pressure. Best chance for getting wet this week is today, so I hope you get what you need for your lawns and your gardens and just to keep things working. But we're going to see some pretty fair amounts of rain and some thunderstorms that could produce an inch of rain from down east Maine through Boston, Hartford, Providence, New York, out through the island, the suburbs, Westchester County. You're going to get at least an inch of rain, we anticipate here, right on down towards Philly and Atlantic City and over to Baltimore. D.C. about a half an inch to an inch of rain. So we need it here. We're going to get it here, thank goodness. And that'll cut the heat a little bit as well. And that is indeed good news. Some upper 70s to lower 80s here because of clouds and wet weather, but still from about D.C. south, that's where the 90s start popping. West of the mountains, a fairly quiet day with a few isolated storms and readings well up into the 80s. Now we go to the Southland, and once again, this is the best chance in the southeast, particularly the Carolinas and Georgia, for any kind of moisture over the next couple of days, and that's because of the area of low pressure. And the easterly fetch off the ocean will keep the eastern seaboard of Florida sort of under the gun for storms. We could see an inch or more of rain here. We're talking mid-90s over most of the region. There's your triple digits. That includes Arlington for the All-Star game tonight, and temperatures aren't going to cool much at all. We'll see showers and storms wrapping around that system, some severe this morning, and they'll be pushing on in towards Minnesota, so be careful there. About an inch or so of rain, and there's the heat building up. Get used to it. It's going to be here for a while. Cheryl?
It's certainly going to be a rough morning commute around the boardwalk this morning. Heavy-duty thunderstorms bearing down in Atlantic City. So watch out if your travel plans take you across the New Jersey Turnpike. It's going to be a slow go this morning. Elsewhere, showers and thundershowers, too, lifting northward over towards Long Island. Large break in the action, but then as we head towards the upper plain states, there, too, a large complex of thunderstorms. Well, for today, more scattered showers and thundershowers likely throughout the upper Midwest, and also some wet weather, too, throughout the east. We have a couple watches this morning, one affecting the Mid-Atlantic states and the other for North Dakota. That lasts until 6 o'clock this morning. Up across the Northland, that's where most of the moisture and energy will be for today. So strong thunderstorms a good bet from Idaho all the way eastbound over towards Green Bay, and also a chance for some rough weather too, at least this morning across the New England states. And as we head towards the west, the wind's a little blustery today, and the fog too could slow you down this morning. It's rather dense throughout the Ohio Valley and the central Appalachians. Some locales are reporting visibilities down to about the Big Goose Egg this morning, so again, drive with extra care.
And stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll update the radars over the northeast so we can get you to work the safest way. 14 now past the hour. Time for the Good Morning Forecast, sponsored by Quaker Toasted Oatmeal. It's your other oatmeal. We look at that radar as promised and check it out for you. We can see the rain marching across the northeast quarter, pushing through Hartford now, over to Groton, attempting to work into Providence, and it'll be there within the hour. But out to the Hamptons and Long Island, some wet weather. But most of the heavy stuff is pushed offshore. But you're not out of the woods yet, or again, I don't want to say out of the woods necessarily because you need the rain in the northeast, and this trough will help trigger those showers and storms through the course of the day. That is the good news. That's an area that can use the moisture, and finally Mother Nature's cooperating. We'll see a few isolated storms over the southeast and into Florida, especially with this little weak low, but the ring of fire once again will ignite around that high pressure ridge, and with this wave of low pressure we'll see some fairly substantial rains possible across the Rockies and the northern plains. And then by tomorrow morning you see the high pressure ridge starting to build to the east. Just the low will trigger a few storms, but by and large all the wet weather will be confined to the west. Now for today, the most significant moisture, northeast quarter could see about an inch or so of rain, same around eastern portions of Florida, with high temperatures today awfully hot in the heartland, triple digits or better. We'll find find comfortable readings because of clouds and wet weather in the northeast, some upper 70s and 80s. And tomorrow morning, the cool air is in the west, hot, steamy stuff in the heartland, and still fairly comfortable in the northeast. Radar update is straight ahead.
Well, high pressure this morning making for a beautiful start to the day around Green Bay, Chicago, St. Louis, down towards Dallas. Here we have a big area of high pressure, but right around the edges of that high pressure we have the ring of fire, moisture from the Gulf Coast across the northern Rockies, more moisture too across the northern plain states, and now sliding down across the eastern seaboard. We've got a little radar tour for you. First of all, heading towards the northeast, we're seeing some showers and thunder showers advancing this morning across the Connecticut River Valley, more rain showers too across the Berkshires, and some leftover showers too around Hartford and Bradley Field and Chicopee Falls. We see some moisture too sliding southward across Long Island Sound and over towards Montauk Point. And we can broaden that perspective. Actually, the showers and thunder showers draped all the way over towards the Outer Banks here and back over towards the Tidewater of Virginia. Still looking at some thunder shower activity around Norfolk and also around Newport News. As we head farther towards the north, though, we start to see some showers and thunderstorms too for North and South Dakota. Some of these have been approaching severe limits. They could very well be dropping some hail and producing some torrential downpours.
21 now past the hour. It's time for the 5-Day Business Planner, sponsored by Motorola. The more you need a cellular phone, the more you need Motorola. And if you are doing some traveling today for business or for pleasure or for vacation, heading to the airport, so far so good, and no delays reported despite some wet weather up over the northeast corridor. No airport delays reported at the present time. Midsection of the country generally looking quiet except for some severe storms up in the Dakotas this morning, but no other reported problems. And through the west, it'll be a little patchy fog around the west coast, but so far so good. Things running on schedule. Now, if you're traveling along I-95, that's going to be a little troublesome from the northeast down to the mid-Atlantic coast through the course of the day. Right now around the Tidewater of Virginia, and as you get in towards the Norfolk and Richmond, we do have some strong thunderstorms that are occurring, and a severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for that region until 7 o'clock Eastern time, so for about another 38 minutes or so. And then also until 6 o'clock Central time over central South Dakota, severe thunderstorm watch issued as well. And we'll see some showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe, just rotating around the high pressure area that is so dominant here as the moisture runs up and over. And we have a trough moving into some warm, sticky air, and that could ignite severe storms anywhere from Boston right on south towards Wilmington, North Carolina. Other severe storms a possibility later today over South Florida and over northern Florida. Look for some scattered strong storms. So once again, I-95 will definitely be affected with some heavy downpours in spots, especially later this afternoon over the northeast and mid-Atlantic and the South Atlantic as well. That's where you'll find your rainy travel. A little more widely scattered here into the central Mississippi River Valley, but a little more concentrated in the Dakotas and developing later today across the west. Now, on the highways this morning, portions of the Pennsylvania Turnpike, the Ohio Turnpike, West Virginia Turnpike. Matter of fact, all through here, watch out for the thick fog. Down East Main has some around Asheville, North Carolina. Interstate 40, be careful there. And as you get in towards Louisville, Kentucky, and Evansville, a little soupy there this morning, so exercise caution. As we look at the big picture, here we have it, and we see it even more clearly on the jet stream pattern. What's going to happen? There's the big area of high pressure dominating over the central section of the country. A little trough of low pressure. This is on Wednesday. By Saturday, that trough will lift on out. The high slides east. We'll see a little weak low here that'll stir things up, but by and large, high pressure and heat. That'll be the main focus as we see the system once again slipping to the east. Your chances of rain diminish significantly tomorrow. So if you don't get wet today, chances are on the east and the northeast, you're not going to get wet for the next several days. We'll see some 80s and 70s here because of clouds and wet weather. 90s to the south. The triple-digit heat explodes in the midsection of the country. Clouds and wet weather keep it a little cooler in the northwest, so that's where to head if you're looking for somewhat more tolerable temperatures, perhaps. But we'll see the heat wave continue to grow across the midsection of the country. Temperatures will warm tomorrow with more sunshine in the northeast, and that will be the trend. The heat will slide to the east as the ridge of high pressure does. 100 degrees around Indianapolis and Peoria by Friday, dropping through St. Louis down to Del Rio, Texas. 90s into southern New England. And look at this. Ohio Valley will see 100, so will central Texas Saturday. It's going to be a hot one. Now, there'll be some isolated storms, possibility tomorrow across Florida and right in through here as it rotates around the high. But again, isolated is a key word. Don't bet the farm on getting a thunderstorm or shower there. Better chance in the northern Rockies. But then as Thursday rolls around, now we're going to get that high pressure area spreading on out, and then it'll bring more of an easterly fetch. So we will see a little better chance for some showers and storms over South Georgia and North Florida into Friday. A little weak wave is expected to ride on through. But all in all, just around the periphery of that high high. That's where we'll see your best chance for showers and storms in the Four Corners, up towards the Arrowhead of Minnesota, the UP of Michigan on Saturday, maybe northern Maine, but from New England right on back to the Ohio Valley and on into the Southwest, we're talking about very hot weather continuing. Now, one way you might want to escape some of that heat if you have the time on your hands is a trip to the shoreline. Cheryl will give us an update on the conditions next.
Well, as we've been mentioning, sizzling heat has been gripping the nation's heartland, and there's no better way to beat all that heat and humidity than to head down to the swimming pool or head down to the beaches. And I'm sure the local lakes will be quite busy this afternoon across the plain states and down towards the southwest, too. We're talking about some sweltering hot conditions and generally some dry weather, too. There have been some thunderstorms, though, blowing up this morning across the Dakotas. Some have been rather severe right around Bismarck, North Dakota. Also, a large batch of cloud cover, showers and thunderstorms this morning right along the eastern seaboard. So not the best of days for doing some boating around Cape Cod, Nantucket, around Narragansett Bay. Showers and thunderstorms in progress this morning. And water temperatures still staying on the cool side. But the water temperatures really warm up considerably as we head towards the south, feeling like bath water with water temperatures in the 80s. Out towards the west, water temperatures 50s and 60s, and the winds start to pick up a little bit, so watch out for some choppy waters today from the mouth of the Columbia River and southward over towards Monterey Bay and San Francisco Bay, too. The waters will be rather choppy during the afternoon.